Before Susie Wiles became one of the most powerful unelected officials in the United States, she was a behind-the-scenes operator in American politics. Quiet, calculating, and relentlessly focused, Wiles has guided presidential campaigns, steered controversial leaders, and now stands at the center of one of the most turbulent administrations in modern American history. In 2025, as White House Chief of Staff, she made headlines not for her manners, but for her words, which included surprising characterizations of a sitting president and deep insights into political coalitions that few insiders ever reveal publicly. Her journey begs a bold question. How did a political consultant from New Jersey end up holding the most influential non-elected position in Washington? Susan, or Susie, Summerall was born on May 14, 1957 in New Jersey, the daughter of Pat Summerall, an NFL place kicker turned legendary broadcaster. Growing up in a household deeply connected to media and performance, Wiles was exposed early to public life and communication, skills that would serve as the foundation for her future career. Encyclopedia Britannica. She attended the University of Maryland, where she earned her bachelor's degree in English in 1979. It was there that she began her path into politics, not through ideological debates, but through the networks she built in Washington. Encyclopedia Britannica. Shortly after graduation, Wiles took her first job in politics as an assistant to Representative Jack Kemp, a rising star in Republican circles and former NFL teammate of her father. This early slice of bipartisan campaign work planted her firmly in the world of Republican strategy and political discipline. Wiles quickly pivoted from aide to strategist. In the early 1980s, she joined Ronald Reagan's 1980 presidential campaign, later serving in the Reagan White House Office of Scheduling and Advance. This role, though administrative on the surface, put her in the engine room of presidential politics at a young age. Encyclopedia Britannica. After leaving the White House in the mid-1980s, she moved to Florida with her then-husband, Republican political consultant Lanny Wiles. There, she built her reputation in local politics. She worked for Jacksonville mayors John Delaney and John Payton, focusing on grassroots outreach and strategic messaging. In 2010, she managed Rick Scott's Florida gubernatorial campaign, helping propel an underdog candidate into a narrow victory and establishing her as a lethal campaign tactician in a battleground state. Encyclopedia Britannica. This steady rise from municipal politics to statewide prominence was no accident. It was strategic positioning in one of the nation's most consequential states. Her success in Florida marked her as someone who could win tough campaigns, a reputation that would eventually catch the attention of national figures, the Times of India. In 2015, Wiles was introduced to Donald Trump through political networks in Florida. Trump, an outsider in Republican politics, needed experienced operatives who knew how to win real elections, not just make headlines. Wiles agreed to co-chair the Trump Florida campaign for the 2016 Republican nomination and later became his Florida campaign manager. Her strategy focused on balancing Trump's fiery populism with disciplined ground operations, especially in a state known for its tight elections. Florida ultimately delivered critical electoral votes that helped Trump secure the presidency. Encyclopedia Britannica. Though often working in the background, Susie Wiles became known across GOP circles as a strategist who could deliver results, even when others doubted it. Her role in 2016 raised her profile significantly and set the stage for future national influence. Forbes. After the 2016 election, Wiles continued to shape GOP politics. She played a key role in the 2018 Florida gubernatorial campaign of Ron DeSantis, rescuing his struggling efforts and helping him become governor. But this alliance did not last. According to reports, tensions eventually led to a break with DeSantis, who later sought to diminish Wiles's influence within the party, a feud that echoed through later presidential primaries. Encyclopedia Britannica. In the 2020 election, Wiles again worked for Trump, managing campaign operations in Florida. Trump won the state, but lost the overall election. Despite this setback, she solidified her reputation as a loyal and capable commander of complex political operations. Encyclopedia Britannica. After leaving direct campaign work in 2021, Wiles didn't step back from influence. She became CEO of Save America, Trump's political action committee, overseeing fundraising and strategic endorsements. Then she joined Mercury Public Affairs, a major lobbying firm in Washington, extending her reach into legislative advocacy and corporate strategy. Encyclopedia Britannica. Her lobbying clients included healthcare, tech, and major economic sectors, experience that drew both respect from establishment figures and criticism from grassroots activists who saw it as too close to swamp interests. As Trump prepared for his 2024 campaign, Wiles returned to the forefront. She was named co-chair of the National Trump Campaign, working alongside Chris LaCivita. Under her strategic direction, Trump secured the Republican nomination and ultimately won the presidency in 2024. Forbes. In January 2025, Trump appointed Susie Wiles White House Chief of Staff, making her the first woman in U.S. history to hold that role. As Chief of Staff, Wiles became the president's gatekeeper, policy coordinator, and manager of the sprawling White House ecosystem. Encyclopedia Britannica. Her appointment was historic, but it also thrust her into the center of national political contention. Some praised her organizational skills and political wisdom. Others criticized her past lobbying ties and perceived establishment leanings, the Daily Beast. In late 2025, Wiles became the subject of intense media scrutiny after a series of candid interviews published in Vanity Fair. The articles quoted her characterizing the president as having an alcoholic's personality, discussing internal disagreements among advisors, and reflecting on strategic decisions that shaped the administration's direction. People.com. She denounced the coverage as a hit piece, arguing that her statements were framed to portray chaos within the White House and context was omitted. Trump allies publicly defended her leadership. Axios. In addition to political controversy, she also faced cybersecurity challenges, including an impersonation of her personal phone that prompted an FBI investigation into false contacts impersonating her to elected officials. The Washington Post. These incidents highlighted how her role now combines strategic importance with intense public scrutiny, a place where operational command meets political theater. Susie Wiles' career reflects a unique blend of political instinct and strategic rigor. She is widely described by allies as brilliant at campaign management, skilled at navigating political personalities, disciplined behind the scenes. Critics, however, point to her lobbying past and deep establishment ties as evidence of the very political culture some voters blame for Washington's dysfunction, the Daily Beast. Her position as the first woman to serve as White House Chief of Staff is undeniably historic, a breakthrough in an institution long dominated by men. Whether future historians view her as a transformational leader or a power broker of controversy will depend on how her time in the West Wing is ultimately judged. From her early days in a congressman's office to the inner corridors of the White House, Susie Wiles' journey is emblematic of modern American political power, strategic, relentless, and unafraid to influence outcomes far beyond the ballot box. Her story isn't just about political ambition, it's about the quiet, steady accumulation of experience that allowed her to shape the campaigns and careers of some of the most consequential figures of our time. In an era of polarized politics and historic breakthroughs, Wiles stands as a figure who defined her path not through headlines, but through the operations that make history.